All right, we got some cloudy conditions here this afternoon, at least in our area, and it looks like we'll continue to see a chance for a shower, right, Rachel?
Yeah, shower chances will continue as we head on throughout the rest of the day today. However, I'm going to take a quick look back at Sunday with that storm system, as we did get confirmation last night around 8:30 from the National Weather Service that we did have an EF1 tornado impact our area. It made its way across Canfield Drive or Canfield Road in Canfield, and it had max sustained winds of around 95 miles an hour. And in case you're wondering, but what about Boardman? What about Austintown? What about Poland? Additionally, at that same time, there was a macroburst that also occurred in these areas, and it had a max length of around 10 miles and a max width of around 3 miles, and it also sustained winds of around 90 miles an hour. So this is why we put a lot of emphasis on winds can be dangerous even if they aren't directly attached to a tornado. And what is a macroburst? Well, it is when the downdraft of a storm gets to be super strong. It will come down, and once it hits the surface, it will expand in all directions. And this is also partially why the National Weather Service damage survey is also as important. As we look, wind damage types are going to be different, and they're going to have different kind of qualities. For example, straight line winds will have almost a one direction kind of thing, whereas tornadoes will have more of a little bit of rotational. When it comes to a macroburst, that is multiple straight line wind paths coming out from one singular point. Thankfully, though, we are going to be looking at a little bit nicer weather today, at least a little bit calmer. Currently, it is a bit gloomy out at the Canfield Fairgrounds on our Main Street Bank cam, but do not cancel any of those plans today, as our rain chances will be mostly isolated to scattered, with some chances for some possible thunder as we make our way on into the later hours of the day. When we take a quick look at our future cast, we will be seeing some heavier rainfall as we make our way on into the early afternoon. It will become much more isolated as we move on throughout the overnight before we clear up closer to sundown. And although we will possibly have a residual shower as we make our way on into the overnight, we will continue to see some partly cloudy skies with some mild temperatures and the potential for some fog. As we make our way on into tomorrow, however, we are going to continue to see some rain, but that will specifically be for mostly Columbiana and Lawrence counties, as we are expecting those showers to stay more to the south, with rain still continuing into Thursday. Thursday evening or Thursday overnight is when we're going to see things ramp up, as a cold front will be moving its way through on Friday, upping our chances for rain for Friday. And on into Saturday, we'll see those chances slowly start to back off. Matt and Nicole.